In today's video, we got our Week 10 picks. Last week went 8-4, not very good, and kind of floating in mediocrity this season, but it's okay. We got Week 10. Let's do it. And we're back. We got our Thick Boy Training Club hooded crew neck from All American Roughneck, limited release apparel company. Released probably, I think it was last fall. Super comfortable, super warm. I went out to the gym this morning. It's a little nippy outside, less than 50 degrees, so I threw this on, and I was nice and warm. So make sure you go check out All American Roughneck. They just had a release recently. My understanding is they restocked some things. So you might want to go check it out, and you can use any of the athlete codes, Billy, Dean. Those are the two that I use the most. H-Bomb. H-Bomb's another one, Heather, good friend Heather. So make sure you go check that out, allamericanroughneck.com. Go get some of the amazing threads, amazing apparel. Stay warm this fall. All right, Week 10 here. Like I said in the intro, went 8-4 last week. Not having a great year. It's okay. I picked some upsets, or some things like this year I paid more attention to college football than ever. And I feel like because I pay attention more means I take a little more risks. For example, I picked UCF to beat BYU at home. I figured maybe that Central Florida humidity might be a little much for those boys in Utah, but I was very wrong. What was the other one I picked? Michigan State to beat Michigan. I mean, that was a close game for a while, rivalry game. Michigan's down this year, so I figured maybe they could sneak one out there. Didn't happen. Toledo, for some reason, they can't play Bowling Green. They can't play the rivalry game. I mean, I can say the same thing about Ohio State. Ohio State the last couple years. Been a little rough on rivalry games here for my two teams. Nevertheless, let's get into Week 10. Screw last week. Let's look forward. Looking forward at Week 10. We have 12 picks. The lines I'm giving are opening lines, so remember that as always. And so here we go. Game number one. Number one, Oregon at Michigan. I put this on here because Michigan is a fan-friendly team in the office. Oregon, 14.5-point favorite. I say they cover, so I'm picking Oregon to cover. Game number two, Toledo at Eastern Michigan. This one's kind of stinky here because Toledo didn't look good last week. They honestly have been playing better on the road this year than they have at home, albeit Buffalo, but they have multiple injuries that game. I'm going to pick Toledo to win. I pick Toledo every week, so my alma mater, I want them to win. The only time I didn't pick them was when they were at Mississippi State and they won, so riddle me that. Nevertheless, they opened at an 8-point favorite. Last I saw it was like 9.5. Like, what am I missing here? I'm still picking Toledo, but I don't know. Nevertheless, game number 3, Bowling Green at Central Michigan. This is a Tuesday nighter, so now that Maction is in full swing, we'll call the winners on Tuesday or on Wednesday at work because you can't ask people to put their picks in by Tuesday morning or Tuesday close of business. We do Friday close of business, so we're rolling into next week. But Bowling Green at Central Michigan on Tuesday night, I'm going with Bowling Green. Game number 4, Minnesota at 24 Illinois. This one's another weird one, right? Minnesota's favored by 2. I think I just saw this morning on the ticker that they're still favored by 2 or 3 now. Like, what am I missing? Illinois, I know they had a couple injuries when they played at Oregon last week, but they're no slouch. They're ranked. What am I missing? I'm picking Illinois. I'm home underdog. Sign me up. Game number 5, number 13, Indiana at Michigan State. Indiana -7. I think it's actually gone up to -8 or -9 now. Once again, watching the ticker this morning on SportsCenter as they filleted over Garrett Wilson's amazing catches last night. I'm going with number 13, Indiana. Indiana is looking really good right now. Sparty coming off an emotional loss. Michigan State's been playing really well, but just not well enough to close out games. So I'm taking Indiana in Spartyville. Game number 6, USC at Washington. A little weird putting this Big Ten game, Southern California at Washington Big Ten game. Still getting used to that. But both teams have showed some promise. They both have shown that they can beat teams, and they both shown that they can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory in games. USC 2.5-point favorite. I'm going to take the home underdog Washington here. I don't know why. I think I have zero faith in Lincoln Riley at this point. So I'm going to go with Washington. Game number 7, Wisconsin at Iowa. Iowa 3.5. I think that Wisconsin's a good team. They played a really good game last week versus Penn State. I think Iowa's got a good defense. Their offense is better than the past, but not good by any means. Any stretch of the imagination. So I think it's going to be a defensive struggle, and I'm going to give the nod to Iowa at home. That's the only reason is they're home and they play better at home. Game number 8. We're out of the Big Ten now. There was a lot because there were quite a few games here where there were either intriguing matchups or funky lines or tight lines. So a lot of the SEC and Big 12 games were not very line friendly. So anyways, number 8 going to the Big 12. Arizona State at Oklahoma State. I said this before, Arizona State, if I ever put them in, I'm picking them. I'm picking my Sun Devils. They're a 1-point favorite. Arizona State -1 at Oklahoma State. I'm taking the Sun Devils. Game number 9, 18 Pittsburgh at 20 SMU. This is interesting. SMU opened at a 7.5-point favorite. Pittsburgh's been playing really good. They just beat the crap out of Syracuse last week on national television. I'm going with Pittsburgh. I have a lot of friends that live in Pittsburgh that are rooting for Pitt. So we're going with the Pittsburgh Panthers. We're going with Pittsburgh here to win. Game number 10, Florida at number 2 Georgia, neutral site in Jacksonville. This game is down and dirty every year. Lots of unsportsmanlike penalties, lots of emotion, rivalry game. Georgia 16.5. I only put this in here because it's a rivalry game, and you never know what can really happen in a rivalry game. I'm still picking Georgia. I'm 16.5. Okay, it won't surprise me if they don't cover, but it won't also surprise me if they win 40-0 either. So I'm picking Georgia nevertheless. Go Dogs. Game number 11. Number 10, Texas A&M at South Carolina. A&M is a 3.5-point favorite on the road. A&M surprised me. I've picked against them so much. I think I picked them last week. I did pick them last week, and they won. I picked against them so many times earlier in the year, and they won, and I picked against them. So I'm going with Texas A&M again at South Carolina. I think South Carolina's been playing good, but A&M's just a little better. And Mike Elko's got them playing good. So we're churning through this today. Good, because game of the week, number 12, game of the week, Ohio State, number 4, Ohio State at number 3, Penn State. Biggest game, I would say, on the docket this weekend by far. I'm struggling. I'm struggling here because I want to pick Ohio State so bad. If this was a night game at Penn State, I'd pick Penn State. So that's why I struggle, because the line is what opened at Ohio State, I think 3.5. It went up to 4 really early. Now it's down to 3. It went to 3.5, hung there. 3.5 has bounced back and forth. Still picking Ohio State as a road favorite in Happy Valley, ranked higher and having a loss than Penn State. So somebody knows something about something, and I think it's because they're playing that because Ohio State's talent is better. Their playmakers are better. But I would say right now, Penn State has the better team, has the better offensive line, has the better defensive line, they've got the better team, schemes and team. I'm not saying Ohio State's offensive scheme sucks. I have questioned their play calling, especially last week. Nebraska, that was a stinker. They still won, I'm thankful, but damn. They're going to have to come out and play a hell of a lot better than that to win this game. They lost their starting left tackle. They have to makeshift an offensive line. That's fine. They know what they had coming out of last week. They made some adjustments this week. I'm a big Ohio State guy. I'm picking Ohio State to win. Go Bucks. I picked my over-under at 49. That might be a bit aggressive. The opening over-under was 47.5, so I went with 49. Nevertheless, go Buckeyes. Let's beat Penn State. And thanks for tuning in. Look forward to all the comments and questions, and why the hell would you pick that game, or why the hell would you pick that team to win? I love those. I love when I get those kind of DMs, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, or even comments on YouTube. So I appreciate all the support. Give the channel subscribe, give the video a like, and let's watch some college football. Let's be good to each other, treat each other with respect, and I'll see you next time.